Hello guys, and welcome to a new WARNO video today by me, Vulcan. In this one I have for you a 4 versus 4 on Cliff, and I'm going to be playing with the new DON-100 division, which is the second of 2 new divisions available in the latest Nemesis DLC. It's a very fun division with a lot of flavour, a lot of different units to normal, so let's have a quick look at what I've got going down. We have ourselves 3 snipers to begin with, but they're coming in with these UAZ MVDs. Now the MVD units, they all have security traits. They actually can count as good optics recon, which is nice. We've got the URSN here. These are a 6-man special forces shock trait unit, so good at cleaning up infantry at close range, as well as having an RPG-18. So great recon unit to have that you can forward deploy. Then we got the OMON. This is a solid close range infantry squad with shock trait, comes with the AKS-74U and the KS-23M shotgun. Also got a couple of T62Ms with the new T2A2 APS system that is able to intercept enemy HGMs with a 45% accuracy. We've got a Conquer squad moving up, which is just your standard HGM, and an Igla for the anti-air. We've got a Su-23, which is the twin 23mm autocannon for dealing with enemy aircraft or helicopters. And then we've got this new anti-air piece. This is the newer. It comes with 9 damage, 5,650 meter range against enemy aircraft. I've got 2 of those at the start to support my tanks here, and a T62 leader as well. MI8 also bringing in the URSN, which is the full 8-man squad with Special Forces shock trait. Comes with an RPG 7BM, so a nice squad there for dealing with all sorts of units at the start of the game. A bit of an air engagement happening. C-15 getting taken out by the MiG-29s of Vector. Tornado is going to be coming in as well, and the C-15 able to return the kill onto the MiG there. Gazelle cannon actually taking out my MI8 early on, which was really rough for me. Also, my Rozvedka squad here, the URSN, getting intercepted, shot out of their transport by the ERC-90 Sergei, and then cleaned up by the 2 machine guns. Also going to be losing my Conkers in the UAZ here, as the Igla unloads to try and take care of the Gazelle cannon that's already done a lot of damage to me. I'm unable to get out of the BTR-80 before that goes down as well. So a bit of a rough start for me, as I did bump into the 11E, which is being used by Slavia here. And he's managed to get the jump on me with his solid amount of forward deploy units. At least my snipers are all alive, so I can see plenty of enemy targets. Just going to try and get my T-62s into position now as a Mirage F1 comes in for the laser-guided bomb onto my T-62 and wipes that out, but the Nua replying with a kill straight off the bat onto that very valuable laser-guided bomb aircraft. So I'm not too displeased with that initial engagement against the aircraft, but all of my other units going down early on is obviously not very fun for me. So I'm going to be bringing in a Su-25. I know that the 11E has a limited amount of good long-range anti-air, so my CAS planes should do pretty well in this matchup, and they've got some pretty hefty 420mm rockets, these S-25s. That's going to make short work of that infantry squad, and we're going to come round for the leader that we've now revealed as well. Enemy truck was trying to run down my sniper, but my other sniper saves it, and once again the rockets of the S-25 ripping that squads to pieces. The sniper now in a bit of trouble, as the 20mm has found that one on the right flank. But S-25, 1 rocket left, looking to maybe finish off this 20mm on the ground here. Here it comes, 1 rocket left, bam, right on target, takes out that unit, and my Su-25 will return to base. So yeah, not a great start, but the Nuas getting that plane kill was great, and now I'm going to be bringing up the Militia. Also got another Su-25 on the way. See a good target here, the RC-90 Sergei Recon, 100-point armored car. cleans that up nicely. And I'm going to have the Su-25 available to continue engagements on this right-hand side. Now, unfortunately for me, T-62 driving forwards just gets cleaned up by the Erics on the left-hand side. Big mistake on my part, as I was busy microing the Su-25. Now, these infantry, the 5-man squads, I really don't think they're that good. And in this game, you'll see exactly why that is the case. This game was absolutely fantastic, by the way. Su-25 coming in to help in the center of the map. C-15 trying to go for it. That is a Hornet. Going to be taking the opportunity to take out the enemy recon here, because Vector was having a bit of a hard time in the center of the map, so sent that aircraft to provide him a bit of support. And I'm going to be looking for the kill onto the Fallschirmjäger Aufklärer as well. Unfortunately, not accurate enough with those 420mm rockets due to the cohesion being lowered from that previous air engagement. So these squads trying to get nice and close to enemy infantry. I've got 2 in there, so we got 10 men versus the Paramarines, but we're not able to get the shotguns on target just yet. You have to be very close. You've got to be 150 meters to get those shotguns working, and that is sometimes a bit of a tough task. In this case, we're just about close enough. So I'm starting to move forwards and trying to get into the building so we can get the full amount of damage out of those shotguns. But you can see they go down so fast. And the big trouble that those militia have is their militia in general. So they already have terrible accuracy on those guns. See, they get cleaned up very, very quickly. So my plan to get back in here didn't really go all that well. We did at least manage to shoot down that Harrier with my AA, and you can see every time I'm firing my AA, I am making sure to move it, although I can't imagine like towing this through the trees is very fun for my truckers, but alas, they are doing a good job. Ormond now coming in instead to do the same as the militia, but hopefully a bit better. Su-25 coming back once again. We didn't really get contested in the air at all at the moment on this right side, so I'm just going to continue to abuse the Su-25 for as long as I can. I did see the Pamela's, so I don't want to get too close to those, so we're going to be drifting back in this direction, and as soon as I spot enemy infantry with my BTRs, or the Ormond, we can get that on target. So just parking the Chaika behind this building to keep it out of line of sight. And as soon as I'm seeing targets, we'll have the Su-25 come forwards. But the Ormond take out the 20mm. We take out the machine gun. P-62 goes down, unfortunately, to the Erics, which is still causing me a lot of problems. So that's going to be a good target for the Su-25. There is a Harrier coming in with the HE bombs, which does take out one of my Ormond. But here comes the Su-25 with the rockets onto the Erics, and now I'm looking for a triple kill onto the Pamelas here as they've lined up very nicely. 1, 2, and 3. Beautiful strike from the Su-25. Those S-25 rockets working wonders. MiG-29 also now coming in for the engagement against enemy aircraft, and we've managed to shoot down the Mirage F1 and a Tornado in that engagement. Great job by the team. Vector with his MiG, my MiG, and also Eagle's MiG, all working in tandem to make that happen. Beautiful stuff. So, supply coming in now for the Nua, and those are going to have to move, of course, because they did get involved in that engagement, and I don't want them to get killed by enemy counter battery or just an aircraft bombing them or something like that. Obviously, it would be kind of unlucky if a bombing run got through, but there's no point in risking it with those AA pieces, as they are very valuable to keep my units alive in this situation. But with the enemy AA being taken out, and that, like I said, is a large part of the AA of the 11E, we can bring the Su-25 once again. So we can just continue to abuse this against the stack, and that's working out quite nicely. I got one of the Mi-24As in. This is the original Mi-24. Comes with the Phalange HGM. and some 57mm rockets. Su-25 taking out Legionnaire Paras and Sapper Para on that left side. Going to be trying to retreat, but the C-15 on its tail going to be not ideal. Just about managed to get it out in time. Nua trying to get a shot on target, but not successful. Everything, though, going in my favor on the ground on this right-hand side, especially with the helicopters involved. Once again, with the triple Pamela going down, these helicopters are almost entirely uncontested, and the BTR-80 is able to just run down the Milan on this side. We're killing off any and all transports that are overextended, so we're having a great time here. And I'm also bringing up some rocket support to help Eagle push into his opposing sector at Dimitri. So we've managed to really come back from a pretty rough start. The 11E with its forward deploy really put me out of position, and I lost way too many units to the Eric's ATGM. But with the Su-25 support and a good focus on the enemy AA that was spotted by brilliant recon from either my sniper here or maybe some eyes from Eagle, we managed to break it all down and take it all back. So really nice stuff. Solid work so far. In the middle, Vector's also managed to get a foothold into Boris, so great job there after we gave him a little bit of support. So I think the team's been working together pretty well so far, and we'll be looking to put the pressure on here in Dimitri as Eagle is going to move in his unit. But interestingly, at this point in the game, I was live on stream when I was playing this. I said, oh, we better back off a bit because we're kind of wrecking this right side a little bit too hard, and I didn't want our opponents to surrender. So we actually take our foot off the pedal a little bit on purpose. Eagle moves his leader outside of this sector so that we're not getting as far ahead on conquest so quickly, because I really did want to show off the potential of this division. So Ochrana now coming in. These are really interesting, like 16-man squads. They are militia, but they have security traits. Their optics go to good when they're stationary, but double shotguns. So at close ranges, they are very, very nasty indeed. And that's what I'm going to be hoping to utilize against enemy infantry if we bump into it. Snipers are taking their opportunity to move up into better positions. I wanted to get them up into these high rises, as there are some really good spots in this city for snipers to get eyes for us. MI8's going to be getting out of dodge because the 20 mils now come in. I've got a couple of BMP2s on the way now. The Motostralki MVD. These again have the security trait. In this case, they also have the IFB infantry trait, and they can use that alongside the BMP2, which also has the IFB infantry trait, to reduce the amount of cohesion loss that they take in engagements. So just sort of completely backing up this right-hand side as much as possible. We're still sitting on the +3, waiting for a little bit of a counterattack. Vector's still got his hands on the middle of the map. On the left-hand side, the Su-25's coming in to try and help Silver Raptor secure his objective. But did manage to take out the AMX-10 Spy. Is burning up on this left-hand side. I've also got a couple of AA pieces coming up to the center of the map now. Had some points to spare, and there's plenty of aircraft flying around all the time. So these AA pieces are hoping to shoot down some of these Hornets that are being used in large numbers. That is because they do have the Spanish with those C-15s. MiG-29 coming in, able to get the R-77s off very quickly. We managed to get one shot on target. These MiG-29s are absolutely lethal at long range due to those R-77s firing so fast, but you only have so many missiles. In this case, what I was doing was trying to bait the Mirages over my AA. So I got the two Nuvars on this right-hand side, but it didn't turn out to really be worth it, as we end up getting shot down. We do trade for a Mirage 2000, but I'd rather probably still have my Mega alive. I got a little bit too close for comfort there, playing with my food just a little bit too much. So now on this side, MiG's going to come across, take out the CR-89 recon before it can get towards our backline. Although our backline, we don't have any fobs on our team, so that was fine. Even if it did get through, it's only going to really be spotting artillery that can then move after the fact. But as you can see here, things are starting to work for the enemy, as they have now teamed up on this side. So Slavia plus the Spanish forces of Simp moving up. He's got the AMX-30 EM2 Sablia. This is the explosive reactive armor AMX-30 that's pretty tough to deal with. Can put out a lot of firepower, especially with the triple machine guns, can help take out infantry. It's not quite as effective as the 20mm auto cannon that the French get on their AMX-30s, but it's still pretty strong. So I'm just kind of locked down here, and in the center, I'm going to be bringing in some T-62s to help Vector, who's now just been obliterated out of Boris. Has lost the majority of his forces now. Got the MiGs hanging about, ready to deal with enemy aircraft. The other thing I'm going to have to worry about is enemy artillery, because as soon as I'm firing these, they're now getting hit by artillery. So the players in the center, Highlander here, was having none of that. He wanted to get rid of those AA pieces ASAP. So MiG-29 gets a missile towards the C-15, but not on target. Second one also misses. Third one misses. MiG-29 MLD letting me down, or MiG-23, sorry, MLD letting me down. MiG-29 also fires some R-77s, but these things have a lot of ECM, 40% ECM on these Hornets, and that does make it very difficult for you to shoot them down. MiG-29 plus the Su-15 actually managing to get on the back of those forces, but not able to take out the C-1580 as well, unfortunately, and that would have been very nice otherwise. But we fired once again with my AA, so we're going to have to move those, and the Su-15 unfortunately getting tagged by an AA, getting shot down. Now, at this point, I'm regretting a little bit, telling Eagle to fall back. It's come back to bite us a little bit, as we are not as far ahead on conquest points as I would have liked, as the +2 in the center has been fully capped by Highlander. So they're now on a +2 and ahead of us in conquest, as Silver's also struggling over in Federal. So we're actually going to have to try and make a move, but it's more difficult now for me to actually make ground on this right-hand side, as we've allowed the enemy to recover. So, yeah, sometimes I like to put on the brakes a little bit, because we can be playing against less experienced players. In this case, I don't think that was the case. We just got off to a really good start, and maybe we should have kept the throttle on against the enemy. Now, Tornado comes in there. Seed takes out one of the NUA. We're hoping to land a shot with the second, but we're just taking too long to reload there, so I can't quite get the missiles on target just yet. And that is going to allow the Tornado to come round with another Seed missile. Ends up taking out the Kraz. MiG-29 takes out the Tornado in reply. We also managed to hit the C-15. So it is starting to work out a little bit here. These AA really helping sort of take off some of the pressure from all of these aircraft. Now some smoke coming in to the center of the map is going to allow the T-62s to run in there, and I'm able to push into this sector. We're starting to take a little bit of pressure on the right hand side though, so I'm kind of dodging my sort of attention between the right and the middle of the map, which is obviously not ideal. But we're keeping the T-62 leader alive, and that's what matters, and I'm hoping to maybe take the Leopard 1A5 with me, so that's nice. But the NUA, I didn't move it, so artillery takes advantage of that, and we've lost both of the long-range radar AA support in the center of the map, so that's really rough for us. I'm also, as you can see, bringing in infantry to the left-hand side, so a couple of the BMP-2 MVDs rolling in to try and help clear out this side. Just trying to run up to this CRAP, or crap, with the OMON to get the shotgun on target, but they do need to be stationary to use those shotguns. But as soon as we get close enough, you'll see they'll take plenty of damage from those. And that's going to put us on a +2 for now. We were at a +4 temporarily. But the right side looking a little bit hairy as a lot of fire support is raining down on my infantry. We got multiple ER-90 Sages attacking us. We got the AMX-30s. We got the VLRA-50s. Just all engaging with that light arms fire. That's pretty rough for us indeed. T-62M trying to hold position in the center, but the BO-105 is causing issues. Su-25 coming in with the 420mm rockets. Going to have to target the Gepard here because otherwise that will shoot down my Su-25 on this run. So we have to hope that we can hit the mark, and I do manage to stun it at least as the C-15 lands another AA missile on target and the Su-25 goes down. Bit unfortunate for me there, a little bit bad timing. Probably shouldn't have brought it in whilst the C-15s were hanging about, so that's kind of my bad. Twin 23 trying to deal with the Gazelle cannon. USRN engaging the Hussars. Thankfully here, I have really good recon. You can see the sniper in this position is providing me with so much eyes on what's coming towards me, but as much as I can see everything, I also can see that I don't really have anything. So this is becoming quite a bit of a problem. I've got some AGMs on the way, so does Eagle. We've both got the same ideas, so just try and get into these high rises and just create a bit of a sponge here so we can absorb this defense and hopefully stop them from getting into Elena. Now in the center here, Ochrana unloaded. I figured that in order to control this center sector at Boris, we needed to have the Ochrana control the trees on the side, because otherwise we're never going to be able to contest this because we're constantly going to get flanked from both sides. So we need to at least control one side of the objective in order to put a unit inside. Now on this side, my poor BMP-2s got taken out, but the Monostrauki is still alive for the time being. On the right, MI8's going to get a Fusileros, so that's a nice kill. Some of the HGMs are getting into position. Mi-24 going to be falling back. C-15 does come in for the dive onto the Mi-8, but pays for its life due to my Nua getting the shots on target there. Very nice. The HGMs still working away. These are pretty nasty. They got 17 penetration, so these ERC-90 Sages that only have 2 front armor are very weak to those sorts of HGMs. But regardless, it's not helping me out much because of the Gazelle cannons and the Gazelle HOTS that are causing issues. We're lacking a bit of close range AA. We did have it before, but it just got killed. So more Iglas, another twin 23mm on the way. It only requires 1 Igla on target to shoot down these Gazelles. They only have 4 health, so they get taken out very quickly. I just don't have them in position at the moment. So anything that's coming up is getting picked off quite nicely by the opponents. Ochrana trying to get into position here so they can push forwards. Vector's trying to set up a new defensive line so that he can hold in there. Silver's still doing a good job of contesting after my little bit of help, so that was handy. Another C-15 going to go down to the AA. This AA is just absolutely lethal, and bear in mind, like, the more kills they get, the higher veterancy they have. So in this case, it's up to 65% accuracy, and that's not even got a leader next to it, so I could push it all the way to 70%. BTR-80 trying to get close, but autocannon, bit scary for me. Just going to unload early, not risk it, because whilst the BTR-80, as you can see, can shoot down the Gazelle cannon, if the Gazelle cannon gets on target with its autocannon, it will also kill us very fast. But Iglas have arrived, got some infantry in position. T-62s rocking up to the right side so that we can cover this objective. And I'm just going to need a new leader because we did lose the Chaika that was holding that side of the map. Ochrana sitting in position here. They do have the security trait, so they are kind of acting as a little bit of recon for the time being. But we're just kind of making sure that this is no longer occupied by enemies, and that might allow Vector to push a bit more aggressively on that side of the map. Another C-15 dodging a couple of newer missiles. Just making sure not to be lazy on this side with those AA, because they're so important. Oh, you see Eagle here has actually brought up the Kalmar. I need to do a video on this division, the 336th. Very cool to see them in the game. It basically acts as a mobile fob. And in this case, I'm using it to fill up my supply vehicle and fix up and resupply the T-62M. So AMX-30, trying to get towards the objective at the moment. I'm getting more HGMs into position as quickly as possible. T-72 hits the mark. HGM finishes the job. So we've taken out the leader. There's another leader there that my T-62 can take care of. I've got to get rid of the P4, and then we can get the Chica into position and capture that back. Because currently, the enemy's on a +5. Ochrana plus the T-72s take care of the Fusileros. And we're going to continue to push through here so that I can support Vector's push back into Boris. Unfortunately, Silver's been pushed out of Fedor, so you can see how things really were fantastic in this game. Like, whilst I was under pressure here, Eagle did a fantastic push into Dmitry to take the pressure off, so managed to full cap this. Now I'm able to clean up the troops on this side with his help, and we've managed to take back this sector, so things so back and forth, and really, really fun one in this game. Tornado catching a missile from the OSA. But it looks like Vector pushes into the middle here, a little bit futile as he bumps into a couple of Pioneers at close range. But we've managed to secure our position. BTR-80 gets taken out on the pushback. Eagle's just going to try and reinforce his position for as long as possible. The conquest score here is so close, and there's only 13 minutes left on the clock, so yeah, a lot of work to do. Silver Raptors T-72s currently in a big engagement against multiple AMX-10 RCs. I'm bringing in my Su-25 with its S-25 guided rockets. And that's going to be able to take out one of the AMX-10s. Looking to maybe take a couple more with me, if possible. But enemy Mirages say no. Plus a shot from the Pamela on the ground. Now MiG-25 PDs from Silver take out one Mirage. My MiG-29 and MiG-23 MLDs looking to take out the second. Missiles are flying all over the place, but it's the guns that are going to finish the job. So, good couple kills there, taking out two Mirages. It's going to open up the air a lot for our own air support, but here comes the second wave of this attack. AMX-10s are mostly dealt with, but now a bunch of Gazelles to shoot down. And whilst there is two twin 23 mils having a go, that has taken apart a lot of our armor. Another AMX-10 gonna bite the dust. And look how much wreckages there are over here. The French forces trying to punch hard and fast, but getting a brick wall that they had to break through. And the last of those taken out. All my T-62s did go down in the process, but we hold the line. Eagle still managing to contest this sector enough that they're not capturing that back just yet. They're probably waiting for a leader to arrive on the front line. Osas cleaning up the C-15 in the center. Very important kill there. Oh, this is a really interesting unit that I didn't have a chance to show off yet. The Mi-8MT Burkut. It has a 14.5mm twin sort of autocannon thing on the bottom. It's a little turret. I guess it's not it's more a machine gun than an autocannon, but regardless, really cool helicopter. We got the URSN. They're moving up. I'm trying to chase down this Milan too. We've got more of my infantry moving up and trying to get the Eagle up as well. Get it into the air control tower. Air control tower counts as like a high ground, so we're able to get a good line of sight onto these helicopters and try and pick them off that way. But things still very close between us 1,037 points for our opponents, 1,029 points for our team. All to play for as we move to the last 10 minutes of the game. And a real demonstration of pretty much everything this division has to offer, except for maybe the UR-77 meteorite, which I haven't had a chance to show off in this game. But basically what that is like a mine-clearing vehicle that can blast away infantry at, well, within 800 meters. Unfortunately for me, the Milan 2 actually survives against the two-man remaining of that Special Forces squad because they were so low on cohesion. Unfortunately, my T-62's on this left-hand side bumping into a Legionnaire with the LRAC, and they're taking a lot of damage in the process. But yeah, attempting to try and get another leader into this left side because our opponent's now taking a +2 after taking back the center. And we now want to take back Fedor so that we can stop that in its tracks. T-62 here up against the MX-30. Does have good rate of fire when it's not low on cohesion. Actually, I think this might just be a 9... Oh, no, never mind. It doesn't have a good rate of fire. It's only 6 round per minute rate of fire. It's actually absolutely trash on that main gun. But it's got good pen. 20 pen at 2,100 meters is very nice indeed. Just got to actually hit the mark, which it's not going to do at that low cohesion. Anyway, Rozvedka Sapori, your SN Rozvedka. Trying to deal with enemy infantry. Artillery's going to finish off my T-62. Here comes the meteorite. Looking to try and get that on target to kill some of the enemy infantry. In the center, C-15 still causing problems. And on the left, T-62 just about manages to get in. Silver's also brought up a Chaika. We do have a backup if we need it. Another AMX-10 going down. All to play for here. We need to push through this and clear out the enemy leader so that we can tick ourselves a +2 and get ahead on the conquest score. Eagle here using mortars a lot for HE damage, and you can see that it's doing a reasonable amount of damage to the RC-90 Sage there. That's as it falls back. HGM's now getting into position here, but not too much more for me to bring. What I'm opting to do now is get some artillery in. So I've got the 122mm artillery on the way, and I'm going to be using that to smoke this objective so that we can potentially contest that before the end of the game. Thermobaric bombs coming in from Silver. Definitely going to be taking out the P4 PC on the backside there, and just needs to get his own leader into the sector so that we capture that for ourselves. Eagle doing a good job of contesting the far sector here. Just this para unit in the way of him full capping that. I'm just still not really doing too much on this side as I'm focused elsewhere. Got the Rozvedka Sapere moving up into positions on this left side to provide eyes for our team. I've got the smoke, as I said before, moving into position so that I can smoke out Boris and we can get some leaders into there. It's just been a real rough ride. As soon as we, stopped trying to play to capture this, like, Eagle just wasn't even reinforcing this because we kind of were attempting to allow them to take it back. And they did, but they then went a step further and dominated the rest of the map. So we certainly had a wake-up call. Now the Fusileros putting on a little bit of pressure on this right-hand side. The UR-77 not really able to do much at the moment at that close range. I don't want to get picked off by the M65. So here comes the Birkut with that machine gun. You can see the turret underneath there blasting away. Pretty cool. The thing's a little silent for a while, which is interesting how things can just go very silent in this game. The 122mm artillery getting that smoke off now. Oh, this was the HE barrage. I did that first. Then I was going to move them, and then I was going to do the smoke, because we don't actually have anything in position at the moment to make the push. Vector had his little group of forces here ready to go, but he's waiting for the smoke as well. Su-24 is coming in with the napalm and also the HE bombs. And now Silver going to be making a push with the Chaika to try and contest that once more. Smoke all over the place for Eagle there. Ochrana in a good spot to kill off the Zabadors. And we got the Mi-8 there with the rockets helping as well, because again, there's still going to be a lack of AA that we can take advantage of. Leopard 2A3 going to be in the way of us capping that fully, which is a bit rough. And you can see here, my smoke coming down. But the Milan 2 in this position, able to cover the road. So it's really quite rough. Unfortunately for Vector, he can't quite get in there. That's why I was saying earlier how important it was that this tree line was secured before we made any pushes. Alas, still sitting on a +2. They haven't got a leader back into Dimitri just yet, and it might just be because, well, the one they had just died, but also people are going to be getting low on leaders at this point. I know that I was. Chaika destroyed on this left-hand side means that we're losing control of this cap again as well. But the Leopard 2A3 sniped by the mediocre cohesion T-72 that's on 1 health. Absolutely beautiful shot there into the side armor of the 2A3 to kill it off. And that's going to open the door again for us to put another leader in there. But it is only a +1 tick, and there is 3 minutes and 50 seconds left on the clock. The enemy are going to be able to get back into Dimitri in the center. The artillery coming down again. So I've got these guys here. Another group of 4 122 mils that's providing smoke support. Vector did have a Chaika and the guards still alive, so still able to put leaders in there. Bit of a mistake on Highlander's part. His Leopard 2A3 leader getting caught out by the ATGMs on the flank, as well as the Leopard 1A5 going down. So big kills all over the map. You can see the kill feed by the minimap. Eyehawks getting destroyed, everything going down. Finally, Eagle does get wiped out of this sector, and there isn't really much he can do about that, as 3 players have dogpiled in there to push him out. And I wasn't really able to support from my position on the right, as the only offensive units that I've really got are the T-62 and maybe these 2 units of Ochrana, which are more defensive than offensive anyway. Regardless, infantry from Vector does get into the sector in the center, which is going to give us a +2. Chaika is zooming up to the left-hand side. Silver's got a couple spares there as well. I think this was my last my last CV on the map, command vehicles. So hoping to full cap this. We did take out the Leopard leader, so I imagine they didn't have much left there. But 2 minutes 11 seconds left, +4 on the clock, or on the score at the moment. Will it be enough for us to win? That is the question. Because the guards in the center have just been killed off. My T-62 is pushing aggressively. Artillery from the Ekatayas is hitting the center. Smoke from my artillery is covering the backside so that we can maybe get another leader in there. Chaika zooming up now from Vector to try and get that in, but the Milan 2 in a position to intercept it does take it out. This game was absolutely wild. Silver Raptor moving up with his BMP2s as Highlander's piling in with a bunch of pioneers on that left side. Absolutely crazy game. Panzergrenführer sitting on the back corner there. We're currently 1,317. Big blob of infantry causing problems. Striker in a bit of a rough spot here, but the rockets of the MO24 continue firing away. Not enough to save it. Probably could have moved it out of the way, but I'm still microing in the center. I'm still keeping an eye on the right-hand side of the map. Playing all over in this one. BMP-2's arriving to get their autocannons on target. 40 seconds left. If we can maintain a +2, it might be enough. But it has been neutralized for the time being. Now, the leader from Eagle coming to the center of the map as we pile on through. The T-64s and T-72s of Vector have cleared that out. +2 once again. Striker on the right taken out. AMX-30 in the middle taken out by my T-62. Auto cannons blasting away onto all of this infantry on the left-hand side. 10 seconds remain. And what a game this was. A real fun one. And a good demonstration of all of the units this deck has to offer. Turns out to be victory. Just about. With our score being 1,393 to theirs 1,217. So very, very close all the way to the end. And then at the end of the day, 7,740 kills to 6,995 losses. So a 1.1 KD ratio. Actually, the best KD on the team, but not the most kills. Everybody having an absolutely crazy battle there. Highlander, MVP of his team, 11,000 kills. Very good. That's a lot. Now the Su-25 early on, absolute beauty for me. The AA, really nice as well. MVD, Monostraki, doing all right there. T-62s. But yeah, it really just comes down to the fact that we maybe let off the pedal a little bit much on that right-hand side. We could have stayed ahead in Conquest. But alas, it turned into an absolutely epic game. And yes, the Su-25 showed their mettle. Great stuff. Anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed that as much as I did. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.